agenda is board discussion or comments surrounding the public comment forum on September 23rd regarding Calhoun City Attendance Center. So we're gonna handle this and just open this up for each board member, to make comments, observations regarding the forum last week. So we'll just start around the table. Stephen, if you want to start.
A few things I've come to the conclusion is things were presented to us that I think we weren't looking at, we were possibly moving too fast. One of the main things I didn't like was we did not defend ourselves. We sat up there and listened to 6 or 7 people pretty much tell us we did not have to kill the candidates so hard. Every one. Now, I walked around with Coach Coffee, me and him talking. Thank you for that, Coach. We did right there. And we're all gonna disagree on things. I didn't like the fact that we did not defend ourselves.
I'd like to thank the Calhoun City Business spoke. Chad Logan, just a little background. We went back and forth for 2 or 3 days before we went up there, 2 or 3 days after. You know, I left that place aggravated and didn't really understand. And as I cooled off and got to thinking about what Chad said, he had a point. You know, it is a 5 to 8 year plan, but it did ensure that Calhoun City stayed in place. You know, you can't do anything right in this position. I don't know if any of y'all understand that. I mean, I can call for something and I get 5 calls saying they hate it, 5 calls saying they love it. So, look, I'm gonna make somebody in this room mad, and I really don't care. I'm getting used to being uncomfortable. If you're not my friend, who cares? I don't care. But I did get a few accusations that I was pushing consolidation, and that was completely false. And that I didn't care about the teachers, which really bothered me, because since 1999, y'all supplement's been the same. And I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but I am the one that brought that to the table. I am the one that brought that to the table. Now, we all voted for it, and next year you're supposed to get another bump. So, you know, to tell me I don't care about the teachers is really, that's really sad. But, you know, Calhoun City, I'm sorry your facilities look like they do. And I didn't know they looked like that. I hadn't been over there, and just so the public knows, we're not allowed just to pop in. We're not allowed to pop into schools. We're not allowed to be in on the day-to-day. We're, you know, the comment about the $15,000 not being spent on the study. That study was above your head, you said. It was done in 2019. Now, I'll tell you why I don't like that study. That study was done by an architect that we literally were working on something else, and I called the guy. He wanted $254 a square foot to do something. He makes 6%, so the more the money, the more he makes. This is not someone you want to trust. This is someone that you have to question. He dropped the price $1.4 million on a project within 30 minutes and sent it to Dr. Lane. Just for me having a conversation with him about, hey, why should anything cost this much? Now, the study that Chad's talking about, and I think Ms. Vance is talking about, is different. And we're having a hard time finding anybody to do this study. There's not just a certain place that you can call and say, hey, come do this study. And I know Dr. Langford, Dr. Cook's working on something that maybe we can, or, you know, maybe we all come together and get a board. Like we created a board on top of the board, somebody to study that understands school. You know, like I said, we can't be in operations. We can't walk around these schools. We can't do these things. We're not allowed to. I do challenge Calhoun City people, and this may make you mad, but it's the truth. When you go to Bruce, when you go to Barton, I ask the question, why? Who does this work? Who paints these hallways? Who paints these bathrooms? Who paints these classrooms? Well, I know for a fact in the 4th grade at Bruce, those teachers painted their own classrooms this year. And that's what I'm asking. We're asking for a little sweat equity. The 7th and 8th grade hallways, they look pretty rough. Now, look, we're all about making it better, but I'm asking everybody to get involved and try to help. And we're gonna do our part. We're gonna try to make that campus better, make it suitable for everybody. I didn't know it looked like that, or I've been jumping up and down trying to get it fixed. I want to kind of see people know I'm not against you. But when people say, let's explore all options, just know that your school's on the chopping block, just like Bruce, just like Barton. With the attendance centers, you were insured to be there 5 to 8 years. Now, I don't know. And it goes for all 3 schools. Yeah, we would have saved some money. I was just trying to figure out, and about the money. Yes, we do talk about the money because it's the only thing we're responsible for. Like, we can't go to a classroom and help teach a kid. That's not us. But when the state, when you go to board training, and they give an example. They hired a coach, and they let a coach go at the same time. They said, we'll just pay this coach out for the year. Well, that's misappropriating money. Guess who had to pay that money back? The 4 board members that voted for it had to pay it back out of their pocket. So I suggest every board member have $50,000 to $100,000 sitting in a bank account somewhere, because it can happen to us at any given time. If we go broke, we've got to pay. So, you know, I do think we need to get more efficient. I do think we need to shed some of these facilities. How we do that, I don't know. You know, like I said, you can't say anything right, but we do have the best teachers, we do have the best intentions for the kids and the teachers, but you can't do anything. And the funniest comment the other night was, "Don't worry about the money, we'll find the money." Well, if we run out of money or we misappropriate money, it comes out of our pocket. So forgive me for being a little brassy when I say, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's really all I got.
I ain't got nothing else to say, Coach. Well, I got about 3 minutes. But I will say, I agree that we need to work together as a board, like moving forward, and maybe, yeah, we probably were moving a little fast, and I appreciate the people that spoke last week, what they said, and I took it into consideration. And like I said, I ain't got no answers on what we need to do moving forward. But after that meeting, just like Steven, we went, and I think Kobe did later, with Coach Coffee and Ms. Nix, and look at the condition of that Calhoun City school. And I don't know if Waterman and Bruce need some improvements or whatever, and I don't know what we're gonna do. But in the meantime, there's some maintenance that needs to be done in Calhoun City. I think it was like something about a handicap restroom in the gymnasium, flooring in the halls and rooms, lights in the MS hall, what is it? Middle school hall, high school flooring need to be replaced, and there's a few more items that need replaced. So I don't, moving forward, I don't know what we're gonna do, but in the meantime, those repairs need to be made. Like I said, I don't know, we haven't been around to campuses lately to see what's going on in Calhoun, Bruce and Waterman. So I know Calhoun City just started recently. The study. Yeah, the study. Oh, appreciate it. The study is gonna doing a study of like see what it's gonna cost to get those repairs done.
Probably have the data already, don't we? Pretty much have for any repair that you mentioned.
All the work will come in.
So I mean, probably gonna be taking down some of the walls and putting up some of the walls, but as far as the things he's mentioned, plus a few items we had in the study. So, do y'all want us to get his list and try to put together what's on the list?
What if when we took all 3 high school principals and just, you know, I know y'all do a wish list on that, let's do something like that. But we know Calhoun City needs attention, and let's just throw it all, kind of a wish list, but understand that it'll be on the worst needed
Right.
basis.
Prioritize.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
We'll do an updated wish list. We haven't
Yeah.
spoken with them since we did, staffing
yeah,
in February.
yeah.
We need the two, we need
Yes,
to
I'm on.
around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my comments on the forum and then let's talk about tours. I mean, I took notes on each speaker and I appreciated so many points that people made, points that I had not considered either, like, there was a safety point that Rob Fox made regarding, children having to go from the metal building into the brick building and being in front of windows and that type thing, being able to house those. I mean, that, is something we need to consider. I do think that this board, that this was good for our board to come together, hear, people's voices in the community. And then the main theme I heard all the way through was slow down. Slow down and be intentional and keep our children at the very top of our decision making. And we know that hard decisions will have to be made. I mean, we see that in the decrease in our, census across the county. But we also can be a part of the solution, I believe, to help our county in the future. And that could be, looking at some type of restructuring there. I do think that there was some concerns from people regarding positions lost. And I don't know what type of communication we've had with those individuals, but I think there's certainly a way to deal with that in the future, as we do have to make changes in the future to have some attrition there.
Well,
And
I think, was it, that was, why I did that right now, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but just to let y'all know, it would have been done by attrition. I know we're not doing it now, I get it, wait a second. Nobody would have lost their job, it would have been done by attrition. Right?
We usually have plenty of turnover to be able to cover those types of things. I've been here a really long time, and I do remember back in 2008, we did have to decrease some jobs, but that's the only time. And most of those people were brought back in except for maybe one or two. So, pretty good track record of being able to cover our folks when we made decreases. And I feel comfortable that it would be the same. Do you agree, Dr. Cook?
Yes, ma'am.
And one thing we kind of talked about, I think it would be good if we all took the time to set up for the superintendent, for Dr. Langford to set up time for all of us to go to each school and tour. And maybe at that time, we look at those wish lists for each school as well before we start the tour.
Yeah, I'd love to see the wish list prior to, that would be great, to have a list to be able to say, oh, yeah, we didn't do this, or no, they can wait, whatever.
And then after that time, we could set up a separate work session, go back through our strategic plan and talk about, plans at that point.
What is your suggestion, and Dr. Cook's suggestion on if we were to come up with some kind of plan to try to save a little money? That means we're gonna, I keep talking about the money, we gotta take care of the kids, we gotta take care of money, we'll do these hand in hand. Is there a way that we can get more efficient? That we can, is there any kind of study that can show us that?
I mean, you always have people that will come in and talk with you about, this is the first thing I think about all the time, about utilities. And one of our plans was to put new windows in the middle school building. Now that may seem small, but when you've got electric bills the size that we do, it's the little things. So there are companies that come in and talk with you about all of that. Your lighting is old, your windows are old.
Tell you, for us,
You need to do different toilet flushes, stuff like that. But it's really hard when it does come to staff. We have a lot of staff, but it has a connection in many times to do with your coaches. You need to have ample coaches and they have to have jobs. So it's just not as simple as saying we've got 30 kids, so we need 2 teachers. It's not that simple. But we could continue to take a closer look at that. We have trimmed off some things with the help of our principals, staff-wise, the last few years. We've suspended some positions over the last few years. They didn't go away, they were just suspended. Our principals have been very helpful down on the extra positions. Dr. Cook, can you think of anything else?
I mean, we talked about the nutrition, over at Hardman, through the, since the attendance center, they've lost some through attrition, and so that's helped out.
You think
That's
about
driven it
anything,
down.
transportation? You think of anything we could do transportation wise?
Transportation, we're pretty, as big as our county is, the electric buses are a big strain on our insurance, so as soon as we can move to diesel, that would be a big help.
Gotta be a way to get rid of the thing. Good Lord, can I just park it and drop an insurance? I mean, I don't know, it's crazy.
One thing to do with that too, maybe to bring a plan in, like this is when we will have those phased out by this time. Because right now, I know we got on the
2
agenda,
years,
That's $400,000 insurance.
Yeah.
We've got a bus on there this time.
yeah, we got a bus on the agenda this time as well.
What I don't want to happen while we're doing this is this 1.9 million, I wanna figure out how we can have that money and have it make money each year. You know what I'm saying, like we can save X amount of dollars by sending this, by spending this, like we were doing at the tennis center. We've gotta figure out, if we let this money get away from us, it's not coming back. This is left over from like COVID stuff. We're not gonna get this opportunity again. They're not gonna give us another handout. So we either figure out how to make this work, or, I mean, it'll just come to what it is, you know?
Well, let me, Joe, I don't wanna put you on the spot here, but let me, that $1.9 million, talk to us about that a little more. That is, like, we have our general fund, and that's what we use to cover all of our payroll, most of our accounts payable, and this, it's not actually $1.9 million that we have that we put over here, is that correct?
I did move based on the board's request that $1.9 million. That money was actually moved from the general fund to that capital projects fund. In the general fund is made up of everything from district maintenance, which is called Fund 1120, all the way out to the school's activity funds. All of that is your general fund, makes up that one line item that we must have 7% fund balance.
We got 14, right?
Well, you're fixing to approve the amended budget. And the amended budget was originally 18.9% is what was for the 25 school year, but we ended with a 27%. In that general fund, again, which is made up of district funds as well as the school activity funds.
Okay. Alright, so we don't wanna lose sight of that as we work on the buildings plan. Okay, any other comments on this? So basically, this does not require any board action, but what we do ask is that Dr. Langford work on some dates for us to be able to go out and tour the schools and provide us with a needs wish list prior to each of those visits. Okay, we will move on to agenda item number 7.